Hi guys, welcome to the Gadlibs podcast. Today we have a guest. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Titan. I'm yeah.
So, yeah, I thought I'd bring him on.
Big boy.
Big boy.
Yes, I am the great round one.
So, I guess introduce yourself. I guess like what do you do on the interwebs?
Oh, well, I'm not necessarily well known, but I do some TikTok videos, and then um, uh, I post on social media here and there. But other than that, I'm pretty quiet.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't believe him at first. When he had told me he was like, "Yeah, I do TikTok." I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you and everybody else in the United States, all right, you know." And he goes, "Yeah, dude, look, one of my videos, it hit like I think you had said when you first brought it up, I think you were like, yeah, it hit like
Quarter mil when I first brought it up. Yeah.
yeah, quarter mil." And then he like every time he would like we'd go on break or something at our job, he would literally go, "Dude, it's up another 30,000." I'm like, "Wait, what?" And so then like,
Yeah, I was.
yeah,
Yeah, I was keeping track of
I'm
it.
looking at it right now, and I'm just like, dude, like 901,000, like that's crazy, like
I did
Yeah.
content on occult stuff, so you just
Well,
pick the
literally,
right
I didn't.
community.
Well, for the video that went viral, I swear I didn't blink during the entire thing, and then for the actual 10-minute one that I promised to do in that video, I blink like halfway through.
Good.
But yeah, like I swear you can see a fly land on my eye or something.
I'll blame the
cringe.
fly. It's okay.
I'm sorry, I was the fly, just so you know. Oh man, yeah, no, I think it's interesting because I've heard that in general TikTok. I think we had the conversation last
I'm
podcast too
done.
about
Mom, I threw
Like
up.
hot dogs on a grill.
essentially about how like stupid simple it is to get famous off of TikTok, and then how like the variations of TikTok between nations is like crazy because in China, they essentially how you get famous in TikTok China is if you're performing like manual labor or something that is like beneficial to society, whereas somewhere in
High
like
efficiency.
yeah, whereas somewhere in like Europe or America per se or Canada, um, if you're pretty what would be good words like if you're
Home
just
of the free, land of the fat.
pretty much like or like socially destructive, you're very popular.
Yeah, well, at the same
Are you
time,
saying this
like for
unblinking
example, look at
man
not
is socially
Nikocado
destructive?
avocado. Like, holy crap, Nikocado avocado literally went from being a super skinny violinist to being literally pretty much looking like me, and freaking he's gained like millions of followers,
That
and
man makes me angry.
literally either. But here's the thing though, with Nikocado avocado, I'm not so sure that he's doing it just because during one of his videos, I didn't watch the video, I saw a mini clip of him saying this, but literally he goes on at the beginning of the video saying how it's apparently one of, and I'm quoting here, the craziest social experiments he has ever done. So that got me thinking of, what if he's purposely doing this to himself, not because of like his followers or such, but because he's doing a social experiment of this is what our society has become.
Hmm. Well, and I guess
Probably.
that really does wrap into like in general like how violent social media is for the human, like in general. Like we see I think we talked about this in the last one as well about how like we're seeing that
I
especially
wasn't here for the last one, so I don't
um
get the reference.
well, we were just talking about how in general like especially for younger women, um how social media is just violent against their mental health, like, and violent is
People
just
want to.
oh sorry
Sorry about that.
no
people want to see self-destruction. Like,
Mhm.
if you're doing something positive on social media, there's only a very small group that will actually pertain to that. But if
Mhm.
you're like destroying yourself by, like, let's say eating 100 pounds of ramen in less than 30 minutes for views, people want to see that. They want to see you self-destruct, and
Yup.
that's why they follow, and that's what the whole rave is in recent years, which
So on
honestly
TikTok.
is,
Oh,
uh,
my bad.
it's okay. Yeah, it's honestly just very toxic and needs to be healed in a way.
Mhm.
So on TikTok, let's talk about Andrew Tate.
Oh jeez. I'll
How
shut
do
my
you
mouth
feel
real
about him?
quick, but I want
No,
to see
go
what you
ahead,
guys. No, I
Brian.
want
I'm
to see what you guys
curious.
think of him first. Maybe I've gotten a wrong opinion of him. Crickets.
A wrong opinion, eh?
I don't know. Like, so I've always seen him as a. I understand he's a famous kickboxer. I understand he's rich as all hell. You know, he. But every time I've ever tried to watch one of his videos, he comes off as cocky. He comes off as this guy that he has to be right. He's a narcissist. And additionally, that he'll bring women on, try to school them in his way of thought, and go, "That's why you woman is bad." It's like, well, wow, anybody could have done that. Like, how about actually bringing real conversation into this stuff instead of like just
So
bashing.
okay, so that's not Andrew Tate though, right? Well, that is Andrew Tate, but what you're seeing is a 16-year-old who is posting content of him as a part of Hustlers University to make money. Like most of the TikTok stuff is just a 16-year-old posting content of him.
So, from what I was told and I was reading up on, because I've been hearing more and more of his name, so I've been trying to like formulate an opinion because that's just who I am. Um, from what I have understood, Hustler University is the owner of all those accounts, and it does seem that Andrew Tate runs those accounts as well. I'm sure he probably has some like individual working it, but for the most part, he is the one who watches and curates 90% of the content.
Yeah.
Like it's a pretty much it's his show. He manages everything of it, you know.
Yeah, and honestly, in that line of work, being able to handle all that by yourself really does help in the aspect of, or like, people are seeing him do it by himself, and they're just like, "Wow, he's really putting his all into this, isn't he?"
Mm-hmm. I'm not. I don't want to diss too much because again, I don't know where his background is, and um, like I don't know where he's
And
come
that,
from, and stuff like that. So if you know he is what society has portrayed him to be as like this misogynistic,
yeah,
societal
and
term of
like,
asshole. Like you know, I get it. You know.
like, don't get me wrong, I understand that aspect. Like, to each their own. Everyone has their own opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, if, like, let's look at it from just like, let's, like, not his line of work, but just like an average YouTuber. Like, let's say, for example, Sean McLaughlin, also known as Jacksepticeye. Like, when he was first starting out, did all of his editing, all of that by himself. And
Mm-hmm.
honestly, it is indeed much harder to do all that by yourself and not have that extra pair of hands.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I guess you know this is also that goes back into the whole conversation about how social media is like really negative, is because like for instance, I for one could be seeing a totally different side and lack of contextual um, evidence at all for what I have perceived him to be, and I can probably say that's true because I only see the parts where he's just quote owning women, you know. Oh, look at him just
Yeah, like,
tell these women that they're just oppressive, witches. It's like, yeah, okay. Well, if you this quote, I always tell people to always remember this because this is a very important one, but perception is reality. So if somebody perceives you as something, that is typically their reality of that individual. So I guess it is safe to say that, what I have seen on the interwebs of Mr. Tate, I do perceive him as this cocky piece of work. So I probably should, admittingly, probably should go through and watch some of his stuff. I just can't seem to bear to look at that type of stuff.
Yeah, and at the same time, like, first impressions are always a big thing.
Big.
Like the first impression usually manifests of how you see that person. And even after the first impression, that can change over time. And that also leads into the saying of everyone. What's the phrase? You're always a bad guy in someone's story.
You know what? That is actually a really good quote. Like, interesting.
Oh, apparently one of us is muted. Huh. No matter.
Oh, it's okay. He's probably doing something, but that's all right. Show goes on.
Yeah. Yes.
He's probably like dying, and we're all just like, "Yep, the show must go on." Here's me
cradled on the ground, holding in like a wound that was made by, let's say, Shia LaBeouf or something. He came out of the corner of my eye. I'm just like, the show must go on.
What I want to do is, if this ever gets bigger, I do want to do something where like I pull people into like a small studio and do this. I always like having the in-person discussions. I always feel like they're more meaningful than just over a phone call. It's just getting the people, getting the equipment, and the room. That's going to be the trick.
Even the setting costs money.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, because I like to, again, I'm one of those guys that will, like, watch how other people do it and go, so what made their situation unique? And like, what made their situation cool? And so then, like, I admittingly have been watching a lot of Joe Rogan as of recent, and I just love the controlled environment of his. Like, if you had to look to somebody for crafting the most perfect podcast experience,
okay, I'm back.
Oh, hi, back.
Wonderful.
I'm Gaddy,
and I'm your extra chromosome.
I like Andrew Tate.
Hi, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
yeah.
Are you expecting a based reward?
Sure.
All right.
Okay, here's your turkey baster.
I hate that, but I will say
well,
though,
that's what we were talking about. So I'm saying I don't.
I will say though, that of all the people who's ever done like podcasting, I think Joe Rogan has definitely perfected the podcast setting. I don't think I've seen anybody else who's done even half of what Joe Rogan has accomplished in the name of podcasting.
When did we start talking about Joe Rogan?
The minute you left.
When we talked about casting podcasts and actual pods.
Yeah, that too. I'm gonna create a product called the Cast of Pods, and you just throw it and it transforms. Yep, that's my business idea. All right, I don't need to do this podcast anymore.
Inflatable podcast.
Inflatable podcast booth.
Just you, it's like this little box that you press a button, it detonates like a grenade, so you have to throw it away from you.
Yep.
And then when it pops open, it creates this inflatable like bouncy castle area with like chairs and a table and everything.
That would be amazing. But in like all the chairs, it's like inflatable. So like, if you don't get enough air in it, everybody's just sitting in like a deflated cube.
Oh man, it'd definitely be an interesting idea.
Oh, talk about all the pop-up podcasts that would appear.
Just, do you want to be on a podcast? Yeah, okay, everyone stand back. Places the thing. Okay, you're on a podcast now.
Have you gotten any popularity on this podcast?
No. Have I gotten any more popular? Probably not. There's probably.
Tried putting it on. Have you tried going on
So I currently, this podcast is only on
TikTok or Spotify?
So yes, we are on Spotify. This is a thing. Let me see the site actually. So for us to get on the Spotify, we use Anchor.fm. We've had 5 plays overall on Spotify, which is really cool. The fact people even, I don't even know who's listening to this, but thank you for listening. 3
We've had 5 plays on Spot.
Yeah, 5 plays. 3 plays per episode on average. The audience size the last week has been 1, so that's really cool. So somebody's actually like, going through.
Maintaining viewers is good.
Yeah. Hi, whoever's on Spotify. I love you. I love you.
Yeah, the difference between actually getting viewers and then just maintaining those viewers is a very big part of podcast growth.
Yeah, I guess just in general with content at all, like, because, for instance, the biggest lesson I'm learning is, like, my YouTube short when I had shaked that Coke bottle, like, 4,400-ish views, but now doesn't perform at all, like, so
yeah.
I mean, I get a view or 2 a day. Like, today has been a pretty good day, because I did that video with you and I recently. That's the reason why my channel's even moving today, is because I posted something. But retaining viewership is the biggest key.
I hate shopping for cars.
Well, then don't.
Continue.
That's what I said. Just don't shop for cars.
Try.
Don't worry, I have a quarter for an extra life.
Oh, bro, dude, bet.
Kinda unbased.
I don't know about that. It seems pretty based.
But yeah, freaking. And that's the thing, like, in order to even maintain having a large group, you have to be, like, advertising it pretty much 24/8. Like, constantly, day in, day out.
I found,
like,
especially... Oh, sorry, but I found with, like, a person in general that has, like, a normal life, it is almost damn near impossible to become famous because, well, if you have to go to work, you have a family, or you have even somewhat of a semblance of a social life. Good luck.
You have to be able to sustain yourself in order to be able to do it in the first place. Mm-hmm. But by sustaining yourself, you no longer have the time to do it.
Exactly. And so, like, the retention... Like, for instance, when I first started getting back into YouTube, I used to do a video or 2 a day. And I popped off really well, considering I had double-digit views. But the minute I stopped posting every single day, I started getting single-digit, and... down to where I'm at now, where, like, yeah, I'm at single-digit views. I'm okay with that. I'm not going to go, like, oh, I quit. It's just now I got to figure out a way to get that content back out every single day. And the
quality, you have to change. Yeah, you have to change from quantity to quality.
For sure, yeah.
And so you got to figure out that, okay, what do I need to do to really make this shine, to make this pop?
Mm-hmm. And it's definitely hard because... you know, trying to get the ideas and trying to act on those ideas is crazy. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, but I've carried around a pen and pad with me. And every time I get an idea, I write it down. Like,
yeah.
Every time. Like, I've got so many ideas in one of my notebooks. Huh?
I said that's something Andrew Tate does. You're starting to sound like him. Honestly,
ironically
just
enough,
to finish off that subject, just to listen to a few podcasts with him outside of TikTok clips, because TikTok clips, it's actually a part of his business plan that he teaches people in Hustlers University. From what I heard,
that's also another
it's monetizing the attention. So they take the most outrageous clips and they just blow that up, and the dude's making like $40,000 a week at 16. Some shit like that.
And honestly, who I'm reminded of with this conversation is JonTron, actually, because he really has mastered the aspect of putting out quality videos rather than quantity, because he can go for like weeks, months, even years on end, and then he could post like one video, and then everyone's flocking to him like freaking monkeys to a pile of bananas. Like, holy shit!
Oh yeah.
Meme content for Reddit.
Make content for Reddit. Oh god.
It is. It's all JonTron. Gets his viewership from his memes on Reddit.
See, you know what
He
I
is
thought about
literally.
doing? Oh, sorry.
What have you thought about doing?
I've generally thought about creating just a side channel and doing what all those crappy YouTube channels are doing, where I mean they get paid money. Like there's nothing wrong with what they're doing, besides borderline just copying and reusing content. But you go off these subreddits and you put a voice to text or text to voice, and
Oh yeah.
and you just
Honestly,
read off
make
the
multiple
subreddit stuff, and they make money because all the ad revenue.
And then you can't. And then imagine if you were to do it as a voice actor, because then you'd be able to do it in so many voices. Just oh boy.
Oh yeah, no, like just in general, that to narrate, even if it wasn't you or like a robot, or go on like Fiverr and hire a voice actor to read off that video for you, like, and then and it take like $5 to $30 to do it. But if you're making back your
Like
money,
imagine.
like 30 grand a video, like some of these people are doing, like $30 is nothing, especially if you can get that person on recurring. Like, oh hell yeah, like that's some money. I've seen how these channels are doing it. It's crazy.
Yeah, and then imagine like you were to do the same thing, but you were able to get someone that's able to impersonate the voice of someone that's like really famous. Like let's
Oh
say
yeah.
Morgan Freeman, for example, because Morgan Freeman's voice is a gold mine, especially when it comes to acting.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, no, in general, those videos they just pop off. They're crazy. Let's see here.
Yeah, like for example, take the "I Can Smell You" video from like
That
those memes and
that was so stupid
Vines and
when
all
you
that.
sent me that. I was just laughing. I hated that one.
Yeah, but think of how many views and how viral it got because that person was able to impersonate Morgan Freeman's voice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now imagine Mickey Mouse or Carl Weezer or even Winnie the Pooh saying that to you.
Oh yeah, no,
Ooh,
it's
better yet, Ben Shapiro.
oh my gosh.
Could
No.
you
There's a lot of
imagine
people
Ben
who do
Shapiro
impersonations
making a
on
bunch of
TikTok.
sniffing noises and then being like, I can smell you?
So dumb.
Yeah, but if it's a stupid idea, but it works, then it ain't stupid.
I am genuinely thinking about doing it, about starting up like a Reddit channel. But the issue is I'll have to go do some research on like how some of them do it. But that could be a nice little side hustle to do, where like once a week you just drop one and like see where it goes. Like you're not doing anything wrong. You're literally just doing like ask Reddit and then you narrate it. I know there's a pretty violent loop of that on like the YouTube shorts and stuff.
Yep.
I feel like I've always been pretty good at social media, understanding advertising and shit like that. Popularity.
Yeah.
How to get people's attentions.
Well, it's all about the
Yeah, and at the same time, if you really just want to screw with people, like, hey,
Do it, Andrew. Okay, I'm gonna go back to Andrew Tate. I'm not a fanboy of him.
I couldn't tell.
No, it's interesting. It really is interesting. So he set out a whole plan to, in a few months, just spread over all TikTok. And he fucking did it. So obviously he understands enough about people and how shit works. He doesn't even have, like, an actual TikTok account.
yeah, and if you look at mine, for example, you can sort of see like which videos don't do well and then which ones freaking skyrocket. Like, for example, the one that went viral at 901K views, freaking, it starts off, for those that don't know, it starts off with this girl or whatever that's talking about the new 10-minute feature that was coming out. And she's just like, it can be used for this. And then, all of a sudden, I hear her say, for the love of God, do not just sit there and do nothing for the whole 10 minutes. And being me, I decided to take spite on that. So literally, out of pure spite, this was done on a whim because I'm just like, you know what, screw them, I'm going to do exactly that. So I stitched the video. And the 10-minute feature wasn't out yet, so I had to do 3-minute. And so I did 3 minutes of me doing nothing but staring blankly, no expression, directly at the camera, not even blinking. And then I put the caption, a little preview of what I will be doing when the 10-minute feature comes out. And I put my usual hashtags, like hashtag fat guy, hashtag lol, hashtag vibing, all that. And then all of a sudden, not even 2 hours later, it's at like 10K views. I'm just like, holy crap. And freaking... And then all of a sudden, like a couple hours later, it's like at 100,000. And then 200,000. I'm just like, holy crap. This thing is going viral. And it just kept growing every single day. I'm just like, wow, this is probably going to hit 1 million. And then it started leveling out about 850,000 views. And I'm just like, wow, that's still really good.
So I'm curious.
But,
not to interrupt, my bad. But
it's okay.
So did you at all get any form of monetization off of that at all? Because I know TikTok
here's
is
the thing.
a lot easier to get monetized on than it would YouTube.
As soon as I heard that you're able to monetize TikTok, that's actually the reason why I got it. And then after some digging, I found out that there's 3 things that you need. So the first thing is you have to have at least 10,000 followers.
Oh, I heard it was 1,000.
No, it is 10,000 because I'm halfway there.
Oh no.
The second thing that you need is a video with at least 100. You need a total of at least 10 videos posted in the last month, and then you have to have a total of at least 100,000 views in the past 31 days.
Oh.
And then as soon as you hit those 3 criteria, you are allowed to activate a very specific function to where you are able to monetize your videos.
So does that renew every month? So if you have like a really good month, you got that.
I'm not sure on that. I'm pretty sure that it doesn't, but I think you'd have to build back up your views in order to do so. Like, it would make sense if you, like, went on a blackout period and weren't posting anything, that they would cancel it, and then all of a sudden you come back and then you gain your views again. What was that?
What was it?
You have to have... Okay, so you have to have 10,000 followers, at least 10 videos posted in the span of 1 month, and at least 100,000 views total for that month as well.
Yeah.
And then you can
monetize.
Yeah, in order to get monetized.
Brian,
because when I first
for Twitch.
Yeah, I was actually I think I still am for Twitch, a Twitch affiliate. I think I had a payout of like $80, but I needed another 20 to get the actual cash. I never got it. I quit before the payout, and so I never had.
Dude, I remember doing so much PR for you trying to get you followers.
Oh, dude, it was there was situations brewing behind the scenes that we all know about why that didn't work out, but
I honestly forgot.
It's okay. It's good that everybody else forgot but me. But no, it's I think Twitch is one of the easiest to get monetized with.
I remember I was in Vapor.
That was a fun show.
Yeah, but
like,
at the same time, like,
I don't
even
think
then,
Twitch is
Twitch is
that
really
easy.
hard to work with as well.
oh yeah,
Because that's probably even harder than like TikTok. Because
Yeah,
you have to
definitely.
have a fan base in order to even be able to get the money. You're still able to make the videos, but
mm-hmm.
No, Twitch is
yeah.
definitely harder.
I would say it's easy to get affiliate, especially now I
You
know.
had an entire server of people though behind you
Well, no,
trying
what
to
I'm
help you.
saying is now that I know how they play the dirty tricks on everything. Like, I found that okay, the watch hours thing and the concurrent viewer, like that's simple. I mean, I hate to be this guy, but just grab another phone, like create an account and watch. Like, there you go. Now you got your 3. Now you just need to get, you know, it's like what, Twitch affiliates Rex. It's like something like 50. It's like 50 followers joining the affiliate program. Let's see here.
And at the same time, like, there's actually this one person that I know that I follow on Twitch,
Yeah.
and I actually met them when they were first at like only had like 50 people knowing about them,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't even have a Twitch account at the time. I found them on iFunny of all places, and they were just like a little account that liked posting pictures of a character they liked. And I decided to follow them because why not? And then I watched as they slowly grew to like 1,000 followers, 2,000, 10,000. They became very popular.
Hmm.
And then all of a sudden, they said they were switching to Twitch, and they were going to start doing Twitch, but they would stay on iFunny for a bit.
I've
And
decided I
then,
can't be in any content spheres.
Wait, what?
and then,
No, finish the story.
You've got the crowd, Aiden.
I was gonna say I've decided I can't be on any content platforms because I'm much too cursed.
I've gotten to the point, but at the same time,
I don't care enough to control what I say, so I'd just rather say whatever the fuck I want.
This is true.
like PewDiePie on the bridge.
Yeah, exactly. Some would say that exact moment.
Wow. I didn't know
Cut
Twitch.
that out.
I didn't know Twitch had a list of prohibited games. Oh, that's crazy.
Wait, really?
Oh yeah, I can see why. They're all adult only ratings.
Got it.
Yeah.
Stardew Valley's out.
There's wow. Okay, so some of the games listed are 3DX Chat, Cobra Club, Cuckold Simulator, Ethnic
What?
Good.
Cleansing,
Hold on.
That's my favorite.
Genital Jousting.
Oh yeah. Well,
Oh, I know. I
I've
understand
actually
that
seen it.
one.
No, I've seen it.
I've seen Markiplier play that one.
Yeah, same. I like it.
Yeah, so a lot of I'm gonna not say the other ones because a lot of them are very how do I phrase this?
Yes.
They're not good. They're not goodies. They're you play at home and don't tell your friends that you played them type of games, or don't.
They're
play
the
them at all.
James.
They're the type of games where you feel embarrassed buying it on Steam and then question reality when it says 13 friends play this game.
They're
Oh
the James
no.
games.
No.
Yeah, they
No,
definitely.
no.
Yeah,
But,
they definitely.
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, I will say overall, I thought Twitch was, I just, a lot of times, and this goes into what you were saying, Aiden, it's like, a lot of the, or in the realm what you were saying, a lot of the content platforms have really, really strict like what you can do and can't do nowadays. Um, and all the alternatives have been pretty mediocre. The only one I think has had even a semblance of like potential is Odyssey. I don't know if you guys have ever used Odyssey.
Um, the radio station that I listen to constantly talks about it. So.
Yeah, Odyssey is it's like they say it's decentralized YouTube. Um, I
Pretty
think
much.
yeah, I mess with it not because of the cryptocurrency aspect of it. Um, I was generally looking for YouTube alternatives before I came back to YouTube. I was like, yeah,
I
I don't.
remember when you played Crypto CS:GO.
That was fun. I could still get back into it. The issue is, as an American, it's really hard to get into those servers. I always have to VPN, but yeah, playing CS:GO for some Bitcoin was fun. I mean, you could still do it,
Yeah.
but it's not the same. Everybody got into it, and now it's like it's a cesspool of farming.
And honestly,
Oh, I
like
just
freaking
inhaled a Sharpie. God, it's so good. I'm good.
you and your Sharpies, man.
You gotta lay them off.
Yeah, you gotta
No.
go with the dollies.
Whippets.
Man.
Yeah, they're more smooth.
I love whippets, man.
I
Anyway.
don't think you've ever done a whip in your life. I don't want to know.
No,
I
but if
don't
I
want to
did,
know.
I
I
would be
don't want to know.
retarded.
I don't want to know. Just shut up.
It would make me
You're not
brain
allowed to
dead.
Anyway.
if I
shut
did.
up.
But like if I did
But
it,
yeah,
like, it
really,
would be
games and shit like that are really gonna be. I still believe that games and stuff like that will take over the future, like VR games specifically. If, for example, take the movie Ready Player One. It's a movie about how like it's pretty much
It is
direct virtual reality, and then all of the money used in it is actual money, and you can earn actual money by doing pretty much anything, like fighting others, gambling. It's literally a haven for anyone that goes into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that we're on track of like doing something like that, but at the same time there's also the possibility that something like Sword Art Online might happen where you
I would
end up
love,
trapped and shit like that.
would love if there was Sword Art Online. I would do it just to die.
I know, right?
It's so stupid.
Oh man. But at the
It's an
same
anime, you wanna
time,
know it.
like the aspect of being able to completely live your life just by playing that game and then having the ultimatum of if you die you lose all your money and all that, it's literally a bankrupt go-to.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a super high risk, super high reward sort of aspect.
Did she?
And I
Did you
feel
see,
that
Game Theory's video on Sword Art? How much it would cost?
I didn't. How much would it cost?
I don't remember, but a fucking lot.
Great
Wow.
job.
Wow.
Great
You're like
memory
the most-
detail.
It
You're
would be
really
like the most expensive game in the world, and it's bigger. Actually, no. I think it's like 3 or 6 billion, something like that. It's about as much
that's
as some of the
easy.
movies. It's
That-
surprisingly cheap, but it's the biggest game known to man.
Well, keep in mind how much money they put into games nowadays. Like, it's usually at least a couple million for, like, the high-end games that are made by, like, high-end companies.
Let's see.
And honestly, oh my god, freaking, that reminds me. They came out with a new, sort of system. I forget what it's called, but, it's a new graphic system that's coming out that they had
saw
Keanu
a
Reeves trailer with, and I forget what it's called, but it literally makes it look like real life. Like, it is so crazy seeing what that new system can do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's called the something 5, I forget. But it's the newest kind of graphics that they have, and it literally looks like a real person.
It's $485 million to create SAO, according to MatPat.
Interesting.
That's really not that much.
No.
Now, the fear that they have, or the backlash that they have when it comes to that, is being able to create the system to use it on. Because the game itself wouldn't cost that much, obviously.
I also saw a
the
thing
same
that said
time-
imagine lagging and SAO and fucking dying.
Oh, God.
But yeah,
That's how you
at
die.
the same time,
It would be unfortunate.
like, being able to create a full dive, that would have to hardwire into the neural circuits into someone's head so that it cuts off from their already perceived reality so that they feel nothing but the new game reality that they're in. Like, that concept
there are
alone.
bodysuits and treadmills that people already use for VR.
Yeah, but they still have a sense of their actual reality. To be able to cut out that reality so that you have nothing but the game, it would cost an astronomical amount of money.
To me
And
personally, I
even
would
then,
never get
the
used to spectacle.
humane aspect of it really holds back people from being able to do that sort of thing.
Yeah. Now, me personally, I
why
would never
I'm-
get disrespected like that. You never catch me liking like that.
But personally, that's also why I think, like, when it comes to punishing criminals, that would be something to look into.
Fuck the criminals,
Like-
am I right?
Like, it would be a volunteer thing, of course. But,
You're
like-
gonna die
Like
either way.
Australia? Like Australia?
Exactly. Like,
You're trying to
someone
make
on death
another
row.
Australia?
Like, you're gonna
Take
die
someone on
anyways.
death row.
This is death row. But do you want to have a little bit of fun before you get before you get murked, or like, hey?
The death penalty cost more than it cost to supply a prisoner to live their entire lifetime out in prison. Like,
Is it
just to
really?
go through with the death penalty. Vaguely,
Yeah, but
as I
that's one of
remember
the
it,
things with
yes.
it. But
Because
yeah,
I
that's
did a
one of the
debate
things
on
about
it.
it.
By the way, I've
genuinely
never...
wanna know- I genuinely
I've-
want to know the numbers on that.
Yeah,
That's-
because I was going to be like, it takes more to keep prisoners alive. It doesn't. It really doesn't.
That's I genuinely want to see those arguments, like
It-
because that would
I
change
did a
the
debate
whole,
on it.
That would change the whole conversation on that part at least.
It's either that or vice versa.
Like
But I
that-
at the same
think
time,
it was opposite
the
because I was
reason
going to use
why-
that as an argument, and I remember it didn't work out
interesting.
because I was arguing for the death penalty. I was like, well, it's got to be cheaper, and it actually wasn't.
But at the same time, the reason why they have it in the first place is because, yes, it may cost more to go through with it, but at the same time, there's a reason why they voted on doing it in the first place. They felt that that person was more of a hazard to be left alive than to be left living.
Imagine being such a menace to society, you have to fucking die.
I can't help but think
I
of Ted.
aspire to.
I can't help but think of Ted the movie with the
aspire to
freaking
live
stuffed animal
like that.
teddy bear or whatever.
I aspire to be at that level. Just menace.
Oh god, it's fucking Chucky.
I aspire for it, honestly. I live for it.
Imagine if that's how society was ran. Just you go up to a giant pedestal, just the judge looks down on you, just like, do you like pineapple on pizza? Just
Yes.
wait, why? And he's just like, just answer the question. He's just like, yes. He's just like, okay, the death penalty for you. And you're just like, wait, what?
Pineapple on pizza is good, and I'm tired.
is.
Of
It
saying
really
it's
is.
not.
Personally, in my
The
taste,
fat man is on my side, and that means I'm right. When it's about food, if he's on my side, I can't be wrong.
so me as a fat guy, which don't get me wrong, I
It
absolutely
qualifies
hate
you
that
as
I'm
an
fat.
expert in the courtroom.
As someone who is an expert at eating food, I personally like pineapple on pizza because the pineapple itself cuts through the acidity of the tomato sauce.
I would never eat plain pineapple. I would eat
Oh, I love
Hawaiian.
plain pineapple. It's actually a really good weight loss food because freshly cut
Yeah.
pineapple has enzymes that help degrade meat. And so by eating the
Pineapple by
pineapple,
itself. I meant like a plain pineapple pizza.
oh yeah, that makes sense.
You were like, it's actually a really good weight loss food. I'm like, you know what else is a really good weight loss food? Not eating pizza. So,
No, I was talking about actual pineapple.
No.
Yeah, because pineapple by itself, when cut up, makes for a really good weight loss food because
Pineapple
of
by
the
itself is
enzymes
really
that
good.
it has.
I can't believe there's people who don't like pineapple. Are there people who don't like pineapple? I've never heard of that. I don't believe it. I don't think there are people who can't or who don't.
Well, pineapple, keep in mind, was actually a really big staple in like medieval times, and honestly, it was so hard to get pineapple that it was expensive as fuck. Like people would literally rent out a pineapple to put on display at one of their tables as a show of wealth, to the point where the pineapple itself would actually be rotting at a point in time. And then they would only stop using the pineapple when it got to the point where it was no longer able to be handled. Like, it was a very big sign of wealth, and people would fight tooth and nail to be able to rent it out for parties.
I would like to rent a pineapple. Okay.
Just goes back in time with like 10 preserved pineapples. I'm gonna be a millionaire. Oh man.
I don't like the pineapple on the pizza. I think that's it's disgusting.
Get the fuck out.
Honestly, to each their own. Like, if you don't like pineapple on pizza, it's totally fine.
No.
But
No.
what, you saying death?
Not
You saying that pineapple on pizza users shouldn't be allowed pineapple on pizza?
No, I'm saying pineapple on pizza is good, and it's not to each their own. It's Brian's wrong.
Yeah, that actually reminds me. Did you know that pineapple on pizza, also known as Hawaiian pizza, wasn't actually made in Hawaii?
Mm-hmm.
It was made in Canada by a German.
Yep.
Nothing in Hawaii came from Hawaii. We fucking colonized them. What a idiot. I'm just kidding. I have a very good Hawaiian friend.
Yeah.
It's okay. I know Hawaiian.
No, you know him. No, shit, never mind. Brian, you know him.
Wow. You wanna try that again?
No, not really.
Oh man.
No,
Guys, I progressed in GTA. I bought a clubhouse. After playing it for years, I finally reached the first milestone.
You're really sad, bud.
Great job. I don't even play
I don't
GTA
pay to
5.
win. I don't pay for these things.
You see, I don't even play GTA 5, so you're going right over my head.
So I gotta ask.
You know
so
what?
Like, what do you do for like
A living. Why aren't you
no,
broke?
No. Like, what do you do for like a pastime? Like, what are like people play games?
Okay, so what I like to do, yes, I do play games. I absolutely love playing games. It's just that I haven't necessarily been able to play games recently because when my brother moved out, I traded my Xbox for his Switch because currently I was playing Switch games at the time, and he absolutely played my Xbox day in, day out, even when it was like 3 in the fucking morning when he had to work at the same place that I work.
Yeah, you know what they say, fuck work anyways, right?
And freaking, so I just traded him my Xbox for his Switch, and so currently I'm waiting on a new game to come out on August 11th, called Cult of the Lamb, which is basically it is a game where you play a lamb with arson powers and a sword, and you're, as the name suggests, you are building a cult. It's basically a love child game between Animal Crossing and Don't Starve. And personally, that's what excites me. And then, other than that, as pastimes, I have a garden that I tend to, and I've been growing some plants in there, like squash, kale, beans, all that.
That is good for you. That's a respectable hobby to have. But also, so you're just autistic, is what you're saying.
I actually am, surprisingly.
Yeah, I couldn't have guessed. Except for I did.
I was actually diagnosed as a high-functioning autistic, which I rarely ever tell anyone.
I feel because I'm slightly one level below you.
Good. I don't believe
Amazing.
That for a minute. I don't believe that for a minute. I think you're at the highest peak you could possibly go.
The highest part of retardation.
No, high functioning means you don't seem retarded. You just are. I'm saying I'm slightly less high functioning.
I don't know, but I think this guy is retarded.
It's a type
Jokes
of
on you. I'm allowed to say retard because I am one.
Now, I guess I know I say don't typically like to go into like controversial stuff, but I'm curious. What do you guys think that like stuff like autism, ADD, ADHD, etc.
exist? Absolutely not. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's
don't cancel me. No,
that's the hill.
No.
Does it exist? I don't know. No,
I've never met a person with autism in my life, so it doesn't exist.
Like, do you think it's too loosely used? Like, do you think people label people too quickly? So, like, if somebody's
absolutely
okay,
absolutely, because there is so many aspects to it. So, in my personal opinion, it has been around for eons, like caveman times eons. And freaking
imagine like an accountant caveman, just an autistic caveman.
No. So here's the thing, like let's take
rock.
Okay, so let's take my diagnosis for example, autism. Autism is like hyperfixating on something, being able to pinpoint specific details that no one else is able to pretty much see unless you're looking for it specifically. So, being able to transfer your notice from one thing immediately to another like that, like a snap of finger.
So as an autistic person to an autistic person, is that the spider sense where we can just detect when other people are retarded? The spider sense where we can just
putting it.
Where we can hear it in the voice, because I do that with one of our friends on Discord, where I can I hear the autism, not to insult him, but I can just hear it.
But at the same time,
my spider senses, I smell you.
You know, like the excited autistic voice that people get, where when they're happy talking about something they're fixated on, they get an autistic voice.
Oh my god, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I hate
but no one else knows it.
It's because they're not looking for it.
It's our spider sense.
But anyway, back on topic. There was actually a study that I looked at, and it was talking about the brain waves of a normal person compared to that of someone who is a neurodivergent or someone with autism, like that. Anyway, the person with autism, their brain waves they were using so much more of their brain comparatively to a normal person that it actually astonished scientists because it should not have been possible. And it honestly really gives insight to how much more people with autism use their head comparatively to others, even if they're not able to keep up with it. And even then, like back when cavemen were a thing still, the ones with autism, this is my family's perspective at least, our guess of how it worked. The people with autism, like when they were hunters and such, they would be used to like lead those hunts. It's because they'd be able to pinpoint things that the people with normal brains wouldn't necessarily be able to see. Because the people with autism were actually able to pinpoint these small details that no one would be able to see. Like, for example, if they're tracking, they'd be able to see like little details of, oh yeah, this is part of a hoof print, and then like caveman too would be like, look, this is nothing but leaf and dirt, and caveman with autism, we'll call him Caveman A, he's just like, fuck you, I see a track, we follow this way, and then they follow the track, and then all of a sudden there's a whole huge thing of deer or something, and they're just like, wow, Caveman A, you were right all along, you are leader now.
So pretty much it's the accountant, like caveman times.
Like, they are able to fixate on things in such a way that it is a necessity. And then
like
in modern times,
this topic.
It's not necessarily as used, which is why it can be considered a problem in most of today's society, unless it's a job that specifically requires that for, like say, example, a scientist or an artist or a detective even.
Mm-hmm.
Because those are jobs that require that sort of aspect of being able to pinpoint something that most people wouldn't be able to see.
The rampant homosexuality in the world.
You wish.
Oh yeah, it'd make my job much easier.
Wait, what?
Fuck boys
I
get
don't
money.
know.
Do I need to be concerned?
Fuck boys get money.
I don't know. But yeah. Like, and being someone with autism, like, honestly, I don't tell many people that I'm autistic for a reason. Because anytime, like, if I'm in a normal situation, and all of a sudden it's revealed that I'm autistic, no matter what, no matter how small it is, I am able to see that they immediately start acting different. Immediately. Whether they think about it or not. They could say that they're cool with it and such, but even the most subtle details you can notice if you're looking for it. Because, like, for example, before someone fell, I'm going to use an example from when I was talking with someone at work, for example. I would be talking with them, and they'd be acting all normal. And then all of a sudden, something would come up, and I actually had let them know, like, hey, I'm sorry if this happens again. I just want to let you know, so and so. And then, like, I let them know. And then literally every single time I had an interaction with them after that, they always did something different. Every single time. They treated me more like a kid than if anything. And it is literally something that is so subtle that you are not able to see it if it is not happening to you and if you are not looking for it. And it becomes more blatant as time progresses because they become more used to treating you like that.
I'm just a giant asshole, so I don't have that problem. I'm just usually a dick to everyone.
Yeah. Like, it's different if the other person has it as well. Like, if they have the same, like, neurodivergency or, like, autism or ADHD.
What are you assuming about me here?
Because they tend to not treat the other person differently if they find out they have something like that. They tend to treat them like a person because they understand their point of view. They
Are you telling me I
understand, like,
don't need
oh,
to talk slow to you like I'm talking to a dog?
don't make me come over there and sit on you. I will sit on you until you stop arguing about that.
Fatter than Brian, aren't you?
So,
Yes, I am.
so I also want to mention this, and I'm not sure how comfortable we are about this topic, so I'll let you lead this. But I always thought it was interesting that there would be jokes about weight and stuff, and I've noticed that you're not uncomfortable with it, or you don't seem to show that.
Okay, so here's the thing.
It's a
I
body disorder.
absolutely hate the fact that I am fat about myself. I absolutely hate it. It is something that I do not want to live with at all. I've tried so hard to lose the weight. But at the same time involving that, it's something that I've lived with my entire life. I've always been the larger person in my family. I've always had to deal with it. And it's something that you learn to live with the pain, And it gets to the point where, in order to make light out of a very dark situation, you tend to make jokes and be very happy-go-lucky about it, as to not worry those around you.
So,
And
Brian, how do you feel about that?
What do you mean?
Just saying, what's your experience with that?
yeah, what's your experience with obesity?
I didn't say it.
I fuck off.
No, I'm trying to be serious. He's
I'm not-
fat. You're fat.
I'm not.
I want to see how
He
your
is not
experience is.
Okay, coming from someone who is almost 500 pounds, he is not fat.
I was
He
obese.
is
I'm
actually doing very good about his weight, even though he has gained some weight from his childhood, because he has shown me pictures of him when he was younger, just a few years prior. But he's still doing really good comparatively to a lot of people. Like, take me for example.
I will say
I'm still gonna.
comparatively, like
I'm still gonna call him fat.
that's also something why I don't take Aiden seriously anymore. Like I used to.
I was
But,
doctor considered obese. Like the doctor said I was obese.
So
if I was
learned
obese,
something about that.
you were obese.
So I learned something about that because there was a time where I was considered. So
Like
it
right now.
depends. It depends on who you go to as well. There was a period in my life where I weighed 182, and that was still considered obese. And I was like, oh my god, I literally had starved myself. I'd work out
What
like
I weigh right now.
yeah. Well, so and apparently even if you're above the height of 5'8" and you weigh 180, you're considered like morbidly obese. And I'm like, wait, whoa, what? Like
Excuse me.
because I was told that by a doctor, and I was like, wait, whoa, what?
But keep in mind, this is also he was probably going off of like 1980 standards.
Well, and that's the thing too, is you have to figure out through some research of your own, like, what is, I'm not sitting here trying to say that 500 pounds is healthy or 600 or 700.
Oh, it is definitely not.
It's not.
Trust me.
But like between it depends on especially like muscle and stuff of that sort. Because
I'd say 300 pounds.
But keep in mind, you also have to keep in mind, there's a lot of fat mystic people out there that are doctors when it comes to that sort of thing. And for those who are listening that don't know what fat mystic means,
yeah, I was gonna say
it's basically the hatred of fat people.
Oh yeah, Aiden.
Oh.
That's Aiden. Yeah.
No, wait. I meant I didn't know what it means. Now that you explained what it means, it's me still. But
yeah,
but now I know what
mystic
it means.
or fatmisia is the hatred
What's
of
wrong
fat
with
people. Like
fatphobia? Why has it gotta be
transmystic
mystic?
is the hatred of trans.
What's the difference between
Homomystic.
phobia and istic?
Yeah, like using the word phobia is a very
I've never liked it
not
because it
good
implies
way of
fear.
going about it. Because there's fat phobia, there's transphobia. But the thing is, the word phobic means to fear something.
Yeah, and I don't
in
like
today's
that, 'cause I don't
society,
fear
there is a lot of very negative people out there that that term wouldn't apply to. And yes, those are very evil people that have very bad opinions. But at the same time, they are not afraid per se, but more have a term of hatred towards those things. And so using the term phobic necessarily wouldn't be a good thing. So, like, for example, in my case, someone who's not afraid of me, but rather is disgusted and hates me for what I've done to myself, they would be labeled fat missic or have fat missia.
So should it matter at all though? Like, this kind of goes
Yeah,
into
I'm
like
fat
my
mystic.
like this kind of goes to my argument with everything. Is like, so what? Like, if you are who you are, that's about it. Like,
In my personal opinion,
See, Titan,
and how
my friend,
I was raised,
my
I
friend.
personally believe that actually, you said you don't want controversial things, didn't you? I should
don't
probably
worry
I
about it.
prefer not, but I don't care.
My friend.
Personally, in my taste, I would prefer someone to fat shame me so that I am more motivated to lose the weight. Because that was how I was raised. It is something that
I'm gonna come
genuinely,
What have
as
you
a
tried
person,
to do to lose weight?
does help me. What was
Have you
that?
considered? I said, what have you tried to do to lose weight?
I have tried so many things. I've tried running daily. I currently have been lifting weights. I have some dumbbells in my garage that I have been lifting recently. That I started 2 days ago because I finally got the
Do you ever
package.
consider the fact you may have a thyroid disorder? Because like Brian's
I'm
fat and he won't lose weight because he's lazy.
That's
I feel like you
so
might
not
be
true.
fat just because you have a thyroid disorder.
I hate you. You know
Like you
that.
physically.
You know, I
can't.
have yet to look into the thyroid thing because I have been told that before.
I think you
That
might.
might be thyroids.
Like if you physically can't lose weight, you may just have a disease for it, which is fine. I'm not fat phobic to people who have a disorder. I'm fat phobic to people like Brian.
My God.
Just who simply don't.
What have I
lose
done to
weight.
you?
Well, I just said
You ate his
fat.
get
I haven't
You
done
ate
anything to you.
his extra helping of
You
lasagna.
sat on me a lot, you fat ass.
Oh, okay. Oh. Well, and also, it doesn't help that anybody that weighs even up
Dead ass.
for him, he's like, "You're here. You need to be killed in the name of fit."
When people start getting brown because they can't wash themselves, is usually where the fat mystic starts for me.
Oh,
Like where
you
people
see, I'm someone who's all about cleanliness. I
Yeah, that's
am
fine. Listen,
someone
I
who
don't
was
hate
raised.
you, Titan. I don't hate you. I hate Brian. and other people
You
who
haven't
do
stated
nothing to fix it. I don't hate you because I feel like you have thyroid disorder. Like you're actually trying. Brian just gives up.
I don't. Oh my God. What? Fuck you. I hate you. I don't even want to talk to you.
Like freaking, I am all about cleanliness. I have been raised to where I take showers daily. I have to be very dexterable in order to maintain my cleanliness. And having a stand-up shower actually does help with that because there is a little seat that is built in that I can use as sort of like a
Don't
stepping
sit on the wall seat.
stone.
Don't sit on the wall seat. I did it and it broke off my shower and now I have duct tape on my wall. Don't sit on it.
No, that's not
do
what I
it.
meant. I don't sit per se. I don't.
Hey, are you having
So what I
flashbacks or
do
something?
is I use it as
Dude.
so I have a lot. Being fat, I have a lot of rolls and crevices that I have to be able to wash. So I use it as a stepping stone so that I'm actually able to, like, get to certain areas, so that I'm actually able to maintain my cleanliness, and it really has helped. Freaking, I am also a very firm believer of this
fat are you?
one fact. How fat am I?
Yeah.
Well, I am 6'2".
What's your boss level?
My what?
Your boss level?
My boss level? If my boss level is my weight, then I am level 495.
6, 3, 4. See, that is possible. I mean, world's strongest men people are like
But at the
6'2",
same time,
500 pounds.
hold on. Let me elaborate. So, I
height
have a
helps you.
very firm belief that you do not have to be fat in order to be strong.
No,
Like,
that's
you don't
true.
need that fat. You can be as strong as you want and not have any fat.
I don't think you're
But
necessarily
you
unhealthy just because
you absolutely have to be strong in order to be fat. That is a given. That is a hard
My
statement.
thighs used to be the size of watermelons. The point where I lost weight is when I couldn't pee anymore because my thighs pushed together so much.
Oh my god.
So that's when I decided to lose my weight. No, I'm being serious.
Yeah.
That's
Freaking-
about it.
You just said that. All right.
No, that is literally what
That is
motivated
an
me.
actual reason.
I was like, this
Because-
is really fucking depressing. I'm gonna lose weight.
Once you start losing functionality is when it truly becomes detrimental of how much weight you need to lose. Once you lose your functionality. And to weigh on that point, when I was growing up, especially in high school, I would always focus on especially working out my legs.
You're a
of
good,
all
fat,
things.
respectable person. Brian's not. You are.
So,
Good on you.
For example, I used to
that.
take this class called Bigger, Faster, Stronger, BFS for short. And in BFS, it's basically a weightlifting class. And they had this very specific machine called the seated calf leg press. And what it was you sat in this chair and you put these there was these pads that you put your knees under, and then you'd lift by using your calves or raising with your toes, and then you'd add weights to that so that you could exercise your calves and your legs. And
So, Brian, this is what we call exercising. I had to slow it
And
down.
what I did,
a day,
in order to maintain my strength, because I knew that I would absolutely, in order to function, would need to have my legs be able to function properly. Because in order to hold that weight, you need to have a strong foundation. So what I would do is on the seated leg calf press or whatever it was called, I would start at like about 130 pounds on the weights, and then I would do 20 sets of 20. I would do 20 sets of 20 for the class, and then every day what I would do is I would add 20, like 10, 20 pounds-ish per day, and then I would do that same weight for the next couple days, and then I'd raise it again, and then do for like 2-3 days, and then so on and so forth. And what that did was it strengthened my legs to where I would be able to handle the weight that I was holding. Because I knew that if my legs were not able to function properly with my weight, I would not be able to live a normal life.
See, Brian, why can't you do these things?
I work out daily. What the hell? What?
Not good enough, pussy.
You see, there's a difference between... So, in my aspect, there is a difference between working out parts that are beneficial and then parts of your body that are a necessity. Yeah. So, like, being able to use your arms is always good, but who needs arms with legs like these?
Yeah, see,
why do I feel like that's like going to be a Cardi B song or something?
See, so the way that I lost my weight is I actually just did something really cool. I gave myself an eating disorder.
That's not,
I just didn't.
You see, that's something that's bad.
Yeah,
and then I didn't eat, and then I just ran until I threw up every day, and I lost 50 pounds. So
you see,
You should probably.
What I'm doing currently,
See professional.
to lose weight
You probably should.
is I go on walks with my dog Bella, and then along with that, I have these dumbbells that I've been doing about 80 to 100 just bicep curls with that, and then
I wouldn't do such high reps.
tricep, and then
Just
some other
increase the
types
weight.
of curls where what's the exercise pose where you basically are doing a T pose constantly with dumbbells?
It's a shoulder workout.
Yeah, that. And I do about 20 of those, and then food wise, like during work weeks and such, I've been taking a collagen cell
Oh yeah, you were talking
thing,
about this.
and it's matcha flavored, so it has caffeine in it as well.
What have you been taking? An enema? Is that what you said?
No, you wish though.
Well, it would make it
But
easier.
no, it's a collagen peptid or something like that that you add to a drink. And then it's basically meant to help with skin. So by taking it and then losing weight, it will shrink the skin and help it heal up so that
you
when
have
you
brown
lose the
spots?
weight, it doesn't leave you with like these really long flaps or basically extra skin that is very not necessary. And so I've been drinking that as like a breakfast thing, which it says not to do because it
Do it.
straight up says on the thing, do not use as a weight loss supplement. But basically, I drink one of those in the morning, and then along with a ton of water throughout the day, and then I'll have just a regular dinner of what I normally have.
like you. It is right. I do like you.
You want to
Good.
speak normally?
I was yawning. I said Brian said I would
See, you
like
know
you.
how
He
you
was
do.
right. I do like it.
Oh,
Good job, Brian.
I didn't screw something up for you.
Well, he's a respectable fat person. Again, like I said, Brian, just try harder. Dude, this dude's
Anywho,
trying,
whatever.
and this dude's still trying. He's still out here doing it. And what is you doing?
I've lost a considerable amount of weight since you've left.
Since I've left.
Honestly,
In like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
and this is going to get a little bit like depressing. I am sorry about that, but honestly, I don't want to die. I absolutely want to try and lose this weight, especially for the friends that I have finally gained, and then the ones that I've had since high school. Like, it really is something that I want to be rid of. And it's just, yeah, I've been trying tooth and nail to try and actually get the willpower to lose this weight, but with how hard it is, especially with my metabolism, because my metabolism is a bitch right now, where I could not eat anything for like 2-3 days, lose 10 pounds, 15 pounds in those 3 days, but as soon as I eat something, I gain that back like at the snap of a finger.
So
What do
I
you-
learned
which is
something
bullshit, but
back in the day when I was talking to like some Marine Corps people.
No, Brian.
Um,
No, Brian.
That's actually like one of the worst ways of going about it because your body will then try to recuperate all that fat, so it just goes right back into it.
yeah,
So what do you
I
eat?
understand. What was that?
I said, what do you eat when you go about not eating? What is it you consume?
Red steak.
Absolutely not. Horrible. Why would
I
you do
love steak and vegetables.
that? Stop loving it.
Don't hate on steak. A perfect medium rare to rare is where it's at.
I'm not hating on steak. I'm just saying, listen, weight loss, brother. Listen, man. You can't be eating the red steak.
Pure protein. It is pure protein.
Well, it is, but it is not good for you. I love steak, man, but you gotta get on not
Personally, my favorite meal to go to is a steak, some Caesar salad, and then some steamed Brussels sprouts. That is my
See,
favorite meal to go
there's
to.
something interesting about me. My body reacts horribly to Caesar salad. Like, I instantly vacate my intestines every time I eat Caesar salad.
Sorry, I was not expecting him to say that.
Like, I am
So you
legitimately
could say
have, like,
you're in
horrible
very
food.
unstable condition.
I have a very, like, bad food allergy to fucking Caesar salad or something, because that literally just makes me
That's,
vacate
was
my
like-
intestines.
Genuinely was not expecting him to say, yeah, I just vacate my intestines.
Dude, I
But-
shit myself so horribly. I've woken up so many times at 3 a.m. Like, it physically hurts, like crying levels of pain.
sounds like the problem that my ma has with her and ice cream and shit like that.
Also, my
'Cause
friend,
for-
stop eating steak. Respectfully. Stop. Please.
But
Stop.
isn't steak
Listen.
actually generally good for you? Because
No.
it helps with the protein?
I mean, it is, but
Yeah.
you know what too much... Okay. You know what too much protein does? Too much protein, too much of any type of macronutrient in your body, such as protein, carbs, sugars, or fat, which is why balanced diets are important. Any excess gets turned instantly into fat. So I might be exaggerating it, but if you're eating like exclusively red meat and stuff like that, it's gonna turn into fat, like really fast. It becomes fat in your body. And
Fair,
red
but
meat
you
is
also
horrible
have
for
to
your
keep in
heart.
mind.
It's horrible for your cardio, which is going to help burn the fat. I would recommend
But at the
fish
same time,
and nuts, fish and nuts, and
so you want me to eat a fit? You want me to eat a trout with big old testicles? Is what you're telling me?
oh yeah, absolutely. No, but like,
big
look,
old donkers.
I like a pescatarian or Greek diet where you're on. It's pretty much fish, nuts, eggs, stuff like that. Is really good. Also, how many
So
meals
fish and eggs.
a day? How many meals do you eat a day?
Well, that really depends. Like if I'm off, then I'm like on my weekends, then it really depends on when the opportunity arises. Like freaking, I would wake up on like let's
Because
take
Brian
today
had
for
us eat
example.
like 5 times in a day. That's not nice. That's
Like
not normal.
let's take
I
today
eat,
for
like,
example.
twice a
Let's
day.
take today
Eat a-
for
eat
example.
a cow, dude.
Dude, every time we
So
hung
what
out, you
I
said
did this
every
morning,
time we hung out, you said
what
I'm
I
hungry.
did today was I woke up at about 7 o'clock today because my dog wanted outside. I then went in, fed my dog food, and then at about 8:30 to 9, I had some leftover spaghetti bake that was in the fridge because we didn't really have any breakfast food items, along with
Don't
some
eat breakfast.
garlic bread.
Yes. My
And
tip number 1 is don't eat breakfast. No, I'm
And
serious. Don't
then-
eat breakfast.
I ended up sleeping for about 6 hours. So from 10 to 4:30 to 5, I woke back up. I'm drenched in my own sweat because it was
Realize
in
I'm giving
the
you
middle of
diet
a
advice
really
with
hot
a
fucking day.
eating disorder.
And so I turned on our AC, and then my sister came home because we were renting out a house. My sister came home, and she ended up cooking some rotisserie chicken with some grilled peppers and onions from our propane grill, along with I added a dollop of mayo, and then my dad makes this thing called cowboy candy, which is basically sweet, basically sliced jalapenos that are cooked in a pot full of hot sugar water, and basically caramelizes the jalapenos to where when you eat it, it's spicy but sweet, and it's
So-
really fucking good. And so I added like 5 tiny slices of that, or like a little forkful, and I had that as dinner.
My unsolicited advice to you: don't
Just don't.
Wow, much
Don't. Listen, that's too much. That's too much, my brother. That is too
It
much
was
food.
not a lot at all today.
No,
That was not a lot.
look, I'm professionally
Because
gonna
it was,
recommend you.
like, it was actual portion sizes, too.
Yeah, but
Because, like,
it's a bunch of snacks.
how
And-
is spaghetti bake, which is an actual meal, just a snack?
Well, yeah, that's another thing.
Like,
That's for breakfast. Don't
That
eat
right
breakfast.
there is
Stop
how a
eating
fat
breakfast.
person
No,
thinks.
no
That
more
is how
breakfast.
a fat person thinks. Just it's the whole full course meal. Just oh yeah, that's just a snack.
Well, it is. Don't eat breakfast. Don't call me fat first. Don't eat breakfast. Listen, listen, man. I'm serious though. Don't eat breakfast. Is what I recommend. And be hungry throughout the day. I would recommend.
Oh, I go hungry throughout the day because especially at work, what I usually do at work is I just have that drink first thing in the morning, and this is recent. I just have that drink with the collagen stuff in it, and then I just drink water throughout the day. And then I get home and have my dinner.
Okay, that's not bad. Well, it's probably bad, but that's not bad for weight loss. I would do the same thing when you're not working, except for I would add. It depends. I wouldn't have your breakfast until like 12, and then I would have a dinner at like 5, and then I wouldn't eat anything else. And I would make it relatively small. Also, before you do anything, like when you wake up, before you do anything, like anything at all, don't drink water, don't do any of that. Just go on a fucking run and sweat and be miserable.
So here's my schedule, especially on a work week. What I do for work is I have to be clocked in at work at 7, no later than 7. So what I do is I wake up at 4. I have an alarm for getting up at 4. I then rest in bed and using that time to wake up between 4 and 5 because I have a hard time waking up, so that extra hour gives me time to actually wake up. And then I get up at 5. I have another alarm that goes off at 5 o'clock that I actually get up to. And then I'm going to leave the house no later than 6 o'clock. I'm outside getting in my car at 6. And then I get to the building, and then I have about half an hour to an hour leeway that I give myself because my workplace is next to the military base, and I have no control or knowledge of when they will be doing something. So it really is just a roll of the dice of when I head over there if it's going to be really bad traffic.
Are we
And
going
so
into an hour now, Brian, on this podcast?
Hour and a half we're at right now.
I'm going to say, my friend, I don't care what you do on work day. I just killed my friend. I don't care what you do on work days. Alright? What you do on work days, because you're too busy to eat, so it don't matter what you do on work days. I care about your days off. Damn, I can't have podcasts really long.
Hey, no, I don't mind, honestly.
Listen, brother, don't be fat. I'm leaving it at that. Just don't.
Starts off a day looking in the mirror. Okay, I'm not going to be fat today.
Ah, shit, I failed.
Goes outside, looks at my body again. Fuck.
That's how I feel. Oh, I'm fat. I don't appreciate it.
Oh man, but anyway, thank you so much, Brian, for having me on this podcast. It really does mean a lot.
Smash that like button with a gun.
No, if you ever want to come back on, don't be afraid. I would love to have you back on. This is fun.
I will be happy to come talk shit with you again.
This is actually
and
fun.
me.
No, you're not allowed anymore. You made too many fat jokes.
You know what, Brian? That's because you're obese.
Joke's on you, I am fat, therefore I'm allowed to talk about fat.
There you go. No, yeah, this has been a blast. Honestly, I don't. The goal of a Gadlib is to be under 30 minutes, but I'm seeing. I don't think that's going to be an achievable goal when we have quality stuff like this. So,
Quality faggots.
well, turns out we're literally, I don't know, just over an hour. Yeah, that's okay though. I don't
Well,
mind.
these rolls are
That's
full
all.
diamonds, so
We literally just about 5
advertise the
seconds ago.
podcast on your TikTok, or you'll never be invited back.
If you don't unconditionally sell yourselves out for my YouTube channel,
Actually,
you're not
you know what? I want an hour and a half video of you staring at our podcast.
He just sits there and go. He hears a gulp and go, "This is my time." I've been practicing all this time.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna see you later.
we'll call this,
don't be fat, my friend.
My God.
okay. I will try to not be fat.
Brian.
Just looks in the mirror. Fuck.
Brian-
You're a horrible,
Brian-
horrible person. I hope you know that.
Brian, I gave up.
Thank you.
Not you. I enjoy your company.
Oh, okay.
This other one here, no.
Hey, Brian. Hey, Brian. Brian. You're fat.
Yeah, well. Alright, we're gonna end on
Me
this
too.
one. Thank you guys for watching the third installment of
Oh,
the
wait.
Gadlibs. Oh my gosh.
Brian. Hey, Brian, guess what?
Yeah?
Kill yourself.
Oh boy. Alright, like I said, thank you guys for watching. This will be on
I get
Spotify.
one every podcast. I'm allowed one. I get an allowance.
He sort of doesn't, but yeah. Anywho, make sure you like, subscribe, comment what you thought about this.
Why are there two general channels, you fuck?
And yeah, we'll see you guys soon.